Welcome to Vintage Variety. I have another unboxing to share with you guys today. The items in this are going to be either vintage wearable jewelry or jewelry that can be repaired or repurposed. I purchased all these items from a fellow YouTuber. The name of her channel is Found Treasures by Jean, and she doesn't just do jewelry, she does an assortment of all kinds of different items, books, collectible items, things that you could use for making junk journals, beads, jewelry findings, you name it. You never know what you're going to find over on her channel. She does pre-recorded buy it now sales, and she also does some thrift hauls. I was recently watching her, and she had some really cute vintage Christmas items she had thrifted for decorating. So definitely go check her out. I'm really excited to get this opened up, have a look at it, and share it with you guys. Everything is packaged up nicely. I'm so glad she included cardboard just to help protect the glass beads. From the looks of it, she's put a card in here with her YouTube channel name, and I will show that to you guys. So there's a thank you card, first of all, and it's kind of like a postcard. And all of her info is on the back, her email, her Instagram, and of course her YouTube channel. There's also going to be a link to her channel in the description box below this video, and I have tagged her, so definitely go check her out. This is a lavender sachet. I was wondering what smelt so good, and she's also included another small card attached to it. I see there's two cards here, and oh, these are really neat. So these are Christmas trivia cards. I am going to have a wonderful time playing this with my grandson. Just kind of show him the cards and ask him questions. So thank you so much, Jean. Very nice little gifts there. Now let's get this opened up so I can show you all of the beautiful beaded items that are inside. I did order several different items from her, and when her sales pop up, you do have to contact her relatively quickly because there were a few items that I really wanted, but they had already sold. I think I'm going to start with this one. This is a broken necklace, and I'm not sure if there are enough beads to be able to repair this and make it a wearable length. But even if there's not, I can always incorporate these beads into something else. But aren't these pretty? They're kind of like a frosted white color. I'm not going to take this out of the bag because I do see some loose beads floating around in the bottom, and I don't want to lose them. But what do you guys think? Wouldn't this make an absolutely stunning necklace? And of course, they are vintage beads. And you guys know as well as I do, beads can get really expensive, even if you're going out and buying them at a craft shop or a place like Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And I think I paid about $5 for these, which I felt like was a decent price for vintage glass beads. If I'm recalling correctly, I believe this one is wearable. It is. So this is a vintage necklace, perfectly wearable. It has a beautiful rhinestone encrusted box clasp on it. And this one is marked. See if I can turn this around and get it closer so you guys can see the marking. So this is a vintage Japan, and I've mentioned many times that these pieces are collectible, and it's a little bit harder to run across the pieces that are made out of glass. So these are beautiful glass beads. They're individually knotted, and a very pretty robin's egg blue. I do love collecting vintage Japan and Hong Kong pieces, and they're not as easy to find as they used to be, whether they're glass or plastic. So I'm always excited to find a new piece. Now this next item, I remember ordering these, and this is going to be either repair or craft or repurpose because it's a pair of earrings, but one of them is damaged. These definitely have an 80s or 90s vibe to them. They are pierced earrings. and they are marked. Getting close so you guys can see the marking. So that is Don, either LM or Lum. I want to say maybe Don Lucas. That was a jewelry maker from the 80s and 90s. Not really sure. Could be. Beautiful. This almost looks like dragon's breath, doesn't it? That's what kind of drew me to it. But definitely not dragon's breath. Regardless, they are beautiful earrings. Now, she did say it looks like someone on this one. Let me show you the back, first of all. It's just missing the post on it. So that is pretty easily repairable. I do have some extra posts, so I could probably put another post on there with jewelry glue. But it looks like someone added something to this one. So if I'm going to repair these to make them wearable again, I'll probably remove that. Maybe someone was trying to turn it into maybe a necklace pendant. But I think these are just gorgeous. I love longer statement earrings. And the glass cabochons in them are magnificent. You guys let me know what you think of this pair, but I think these were a really great find. This next necklace is wearable, if I'm not mistaken. Let's get it out and have a look at it. These are also glass beads. Well, something's going on here. Maybe it is broken. I'm guessing that someone maybe had a wire attached to this just so they could hang it up, maybe on a pegboard for storage. Put that to the side. And at some time or the other, it had maybe a paper label on it, and that's what the string's for. So this one has a spring ring closure. I don't see any markings anywhere on it. It is a much longer length. Very pretty glass beads, kind of like a dark turquoise or dark teal. These two could probably be worn together. That would be a really nice look, two different shades of blue. I'll take some scissors and very carefully clip this string off. This one will be perfectly fine to wear, and I really like this dark, kind of like a teal or dark turquoise color. I have just a few more items to show you guys, and all of them are going to be in shades of red. Red is, without doubt, one of my favorite colors. So when Jean showed these pieces, I knew that I wanted to purchase them just because I love the color red. And I was really happy when I emailed her and she emailed me back and told me they were still available. This one is going to be a repair piece, or it could be repurposed. It has a very old vintage box closure. The closure's in really good shape, but the problem with this necklace is that it was originally a double strand necklace, and one of the strands is entirely missing. Lots of beautiful glass beads on this, and some of them look more of a darker red than the others. Some of them are kind of showing kind of like a reddish orange color. I'm just going to check and see if there's any markings anywhere. I'm not seeing anything, but isn't that a beautiful box clasp on this? It is a box clasp for a double strand necklace. So if I decide to redo this necklace, I'm probably going to look through my stash and replace that with a vintage spring ring. But just really pretty. Love the beads. I love these saucer-shaped beads on this. It also has some tiny clear glass spacer beads, but they're really dirty. So, of course, with a lot of these old vintage pieces, they do need to be cleaned. Now, there's another one I want to show you guys, and it doesn't have a clasp on it. These are also glass beads. Just looking at this, I did see a spot on it that looks like maybe it was longer, maybe it broke and someone tied it back together. Now it does have some thread on it where a tag was probably attached at one time, and all I have to do is clip that off. But my guess for this one is that it was much longer and maybe it broke at one time. Just looking at this and comparing it to the saucer-shaped beads, they're almost the same kind of orangey color. So what I could do is I could take both of these and combine them together and make a double strand necklace. That would be a good possibility. Or I could just leave the intact strand as it is and redo the shorter piece that's broken. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. What would you do? Would you combine the two, or would you leave one as it is and just redo the other one? I'm going to put these in a single baggie together. That's just something I'm going to have to think about. And then I'll show you guys the last necklace that I ended up purchasing. We are down to the last item. I think that this is going to be my favorite one. This is wearable. It is a vintage red glass bead necklace. Isn't that pretty? Just looking here, it looks like someone has reattached or tied on the jump ring. It may have been that the jump ring came off at some point, or it could have been that the necklace broke and it's missing some beads, because it is a rather short necklace. It also has some string on it where it looks like maybe a paper tag was attached at some point. But this is perfectly wearable. I'm not going to do anything to this one unless I add an extender. I just want to compare it to the other red beads that were in the slot. Kind of not a dark cherry red, but just a really pretty vibrant red color. You guys let me know what you think of this one. I think if I were going to wear it, I probably would add an extender and wear it a little bit longer. But this is just a beautiful necklace. Jean has lots of great items. You guys go check her channel out. It's Found Treasures by Jean, and there is a link in the description box below this video to her channel, so you can click that link and go right to it. Let me know, out of all the items, which ones were your favorites, and if you enjoyed today's content, please remember to give me a thumbs up. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to share these items with me. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Ring the bell for notifications, and you'll be notified anytime I upload new content. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.